Hi, this is Millan, and in today's video I'm going to share with you a goal setting exercise so you can achieve more of the goals that you set. So stay tuned. First of all, if you are new here, if this is the first time you watch one of my videos, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap the notifications bell so you never miss a thing. I'm uploading videos regularly for you to add as much value as I can from my experience in marketing, entrepreneurship, and personal development. Now, before we proceed with this goal setting exercise, let me tell you where I got it from. And by the way, try not to look at the board yet, don't read it yet. I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing. But I learned this exercise while I was attending Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins a couple of years ago. It was one of the, or probably the most life-changing seminar I've ever attended, and I'm grateful because I was able to attend in person. If you're watching this in 2020 or 2021, then you know that Tony did most of his seminars virtually, and I also got the chance to attend a couple of those virtual ones. However, it is not the same. It is not the same. It's still amazing. It's still possible. It's still valuable. I would still recommend it, but it is just so much better to be there in the room. And from, well, tons of teachings that I got at Date with Destiny, I figured it's the end of the year. How can I serve you so that you start the next year with the right foot? And so I figured this exercise would really help you while you write down your New Year's resolutions. Because if you're anything like me, then it's very possible that you have set goals in the past and you haven't achieved them. For multiple reasons. Sometimes they're valid reasons, sometimes it's just procrastination and lack of commitment and resolve. And so if you're here right now, I hope that by the end of this video you have more clarity about how to achieve your goals and how to set the goals that you want for yourself, for your life, and actually get a plan of action to make them happen. So my friend, the other thing I would recommend is that you grab a pen and paper right now, because the best way for you to get value from this exercise that I'm going to share with you is if you do it with me now, not later. I know most of you are just going to watch the video and be like, oh, I'll do it later. My invitation for you right now is that you do it now, because when is now a good time? Now. So go ahead, grab a pen and paper. You can pause the video as I go and do this with me. Okay? Are you in? Are you all in? All right, awesome. So the first step of this goal setting, try not to look at the other steps yet. The first step is to make a list of everything you want in the next 20 years. When I say the next 20 years, imagine that it's Christmas Eve and you're making a list for Santa Claus and you're asking for all the stuff you want ever for the next 20 years. So that includes what you want now, what you want next month, what you want within a year, within 5 years. So not just until 20 years have passed, but within the next 20 years. Everything. I don't care how big the list is. Write down everything you want. It can be things you wanna have happen in your life. Maybe people that you would like to manifest in your life. People that need to appear in your life. Maybe it's material things. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, maybe you want a house in the Caribbean. Maybe there's this trip around the world that you want to take. Everything. And here's a piece of advice, my friend. Do not be realistic here. Don't write down realistic goals. Because here's the thing. If you only focus on writing down realistic goals, things that you want, you are only going to look at your current reality. If you want that house in the Caribbean and you're looking at your bank account right now, hey, maybe you don't have the money right now to make that house happen. So don't worry about don't allow your current situation to define what's going to happen in 20 years. So do not write down goals that are too realistic. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. You don't have to be realistic, all right? So pause the video right now. Go make that list. Everything you want. Imagine Santa Claus or Aladdin's lamp. There's a genie in it. The genie is going to grant you all your wishes. Think of that. Go ahead, pause the video and do it. Pause the video. Did you pause? All right, I'm gonna assume that you paused the video. Okay, so after you make that list, the next step is for you to review the list, and I want you to estimate how long it will take. So like next to every item, next to everything you wrote down on that list, make an estimate of how long it's gonna take for each of those goals to happen or for you to achieve them. So it could be 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, etc. Okay, so next to each goal, how long it's gonna take. So example, that house in the Caribbean, hey, might take a little longer than losing 5 pounds. If you wanna lose 5 pounds, all right, that might take a few months actually. Or hey, maybe you wanna get married. Maybe that's another of your goals. Hey, that might take a little longer than a year, although some people get married way too fast. But anyway, write an estimate. Again, this is an estimate. Is it gonna take 1 year? 3 years, 5 years, 20 years. Go ahead, estimate it now, right now, pause the video. Remember, don't be so realistic with this, okay? Dare to dream. Pause the video and come back. All right, I'm gonna freeze so that you pause. Did you pause? All right, I'm gonna assume you did. So the third step, you're gonna look at all these goals, right? And the years and how long they're gonna take. And the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna choose your top 5 1-year goals. You're gonna choose the top 5 1-year goals. Top 4, top 4, it could be top 5, but top 4. So the main 4 things you need to achieve within the next 12 months. Pick those 4, the top 4 that are most important to you. And why it's so important for you that they happen. Why is it like non-negotiable? Like these things need to happen in the next year and I will make them happen, and why they're so important. So write down right now, you can take those 4 1-year goals, put them in a separate page, and then underneath each one of them, why are they so important? Okay, this is where you need to know what you believe in. You need to know your reasons why. You need to be super honest with yourself as to why those are so important to you. Why are you doing this in the first place? Why they must happen and why you will make them happen in the next 12 months. So pause the video, write that down right now. Did you pause? I hope you paused. This is very important that you do it. It's very important that you do it, okay? Awesome. The fourth step is writing down who do you need to become to achieve them. So in terms of your values, in terms of the person you are, because here's the thing, it's very likely that for you to achieve those goals, you need to make a few changes in your life. If you want things in your life to change, you're gonna have to change things in your life. And here's the thing, it's not about changing who you are, your identity. It's about identifying your values, and it's about figuring out what new skills you need, what new habits you need to incorporate. So what is that new person you need to become? How do you become the next version, the best version of yourself, so that you make these things happen? Because again, let's face it, some of those goals you wrote down on that list, maybe it's not the first time you write them down. Maybe those were last year's resolutions and you still didn't achieve them. You know why? Because you didn't have a plan, because you kept doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And we know that's the definition of dementia, of insanity. So what changes do you need to make? Who do you need to become? Maybe you need to surround yourself with different people. Maybe you need a better routine in the mornings. Maybe you need to become a person that doesn't procrastinate as much. Maybe it's time for you to really measure the consequences of not making those changes in your life and yourself that you know you need to make in order to make your life better. So who do you need to become? So let me share with you, because, well, I have my manual, my workbook from with Destiny here with me. And I'm going to tell you what I wrote. I'm going to share it with you super honestly, right? Some of what I wrote when it comes to the person I need to become in order to get to my goals, right? So I wrote, I need to become a bigger person in general, right? Be the bigger person in most situations in my life, right? I need to have more enthusiasm, more energy, determination, and be more consistent. Now let me tell you something. I wrote this down about 3 years ago, actually a little longer. It's about 4 years ago that I attended Day with Destiny as I'm shooting this video. And a lot of this changes, a lot of this, what I wrote here, the person I needed to become, I have become, but not all of it, not all of it. That's why it's also good for me to do this for you, because it helps me refresh my memory and it helps me make the changes I said I was going to make a few years ago. So have I become a more enthusiastic, more determined person, more consistent person? Yes, I have. I also need to be more passionate, more positive, stronger, and appreciate life and people more. I do, actually, now appreciate life and people around me a lot more. Brave. I need to be brave and take risks. I actually have become braver, and I do take a lot more risks than I used to 4 years ago when I attended the seminar and before I attended the seminar. And when I say risks, it comes to not just in my life, but also my business. I used to be too comfortable, right? I used to be too conservative when it came to taking risks. And now, even though I'm a little older, and as we grow older, our risk aversion tends to shift, I am taking a lot more risk. Because guess what? Life's too short, my friend. Also, I become a person who is not afraid of what people say and sees problems and challenges as opportunities to grow. This doesn't always happen. This doesn't always happen. I don't always see challenges, problems as challenges and opportunities to grow, but I see it more. It happens more, but not yet where I would like to be. And a few other things I wrote. Someone that gives without expecting something in return. I think for the most part I have achieved that. And I feel younger and healthier than my age. What can I tell you? It was my birthday recently, actually. It was my birthday on December 15th, just 5 days ago. And I was questioning myself, I'm getting closer to 40. I'll be honest with you, I'm 37. I just turned 37. And for some reason, I'm focusing a lot on that number. But I'm like, if you ask me, how do I feel compared to 4 or 5 years ago? I feel just as good. I feel just as healthy. I don't feel 37. Definitely don't feel older than that. I feel younger than that. But this is a great reminder for me that my past self wrote down that I feel good about my age and I feel younger and healthier than my age. And I think unconsciously I do. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. It's very personal, as you can see, but I wanted to share that with you. That's why you're watching this video, and I want you to take this exercise very seriously and do the same thing. So who do you need to become? Who do you need to become to achieve these goals? Now, there is another step in the exercise that usually works out better if you have a buddy or a partner or somebody to do it with. But that other step would be when you are writing down over here the top 4 reasons why it's so important for you to achieve them and why you will absolutely achieve them within 1 year, right? That you do the opposite, and maybe with someone, or you can do it on your own too. But start thinking and saying out loud all the reasons why you will not achieve them. Why, you know what, these are my top 4 1-year goals, and this is why they will never happen. This is why they will not happen, and be super convinced. Why would you do that? Because that way you're going to identify limiting beliefs and challenges in advance so that you don't have to deal with those later when you're actually executing and trying to make this stuff happen. Think about all the reasons why this will not happen. Everything. A, B, C, D, E. Because I don't have enough money, because I'm too short, because I'm too tall, because I'm this, because I'm that, because I don't have this, because I lack this. So think about all the reasons why you won't achieve those goals, because that way you will know what you're facing, you will know what you're dealing with, and then you will look at that, maybe you can write them down for yourself and then just say them out loud or something. But if you do that, you're gonna know what to expect. And you will identify those limiting beliefs. A bunch of those are just going to be stories you're telling yourself. And some of those might be valid reasons, valid challenges that you might face along the way, and it would be good to know them in advance. it would be very good to know them in advance so that you know what to do. So my friend, I hope you enjoyed this exercise. I hope that you actually did it. If you did, leave me a comment here below. I want to hear from you. Was this useful? Did you attend Date with Destiny as well? Was this a good refresher, a good reminder for you? Are you doing this exercise again yourself? Because I certainly am doing it again myself now that we're finishing this very special year, and I really hope this was valuable. So leave me a comment below, give the video a thumbs up, share it with somebody that needs to hear this. I'm sure you know someone that never keeps their New Year's resolutions. This might be one of the reasons. This might help, and thank you so much. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. That really helps me reach more people as well. I hope to hear from you. Have an amazing one, and I'll talk to you soon.